Oh, there you are. I didn't know you were rolling. Camera. Oh, you're there too. Oh my goodness. Oh, back there. Hey there, James Arnold Taylor here, and I have been just enjoying shooting videos with you. I hope you've been hanging out with me and enjoying the podcast. We got a new season of the podcast. We've got taking you behind the scenes of the podcast. We've got these little vlogs here. Got the ABCs of JAT coming back real soon. A lot of people have asked about Clone Wars Conversations. Will it come back? I would love to do Clone Wars Conversations again, but if you don't know what Clone Wars Conversations is, it is a show where I interview my Clone Wars castmates. Hey, look at that. You see, I was the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars The Clone Wars for 7 seasons. And I've been the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi for, 23 years now for various projects, from the video games, Battlefront 2, to Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars games, the lightsaber battles, all these different things, many different games. My daughter loves playing the games and playing the characters that fight my characters, so she can kind of beat my characters up. Isn't that funny? No, okay, I'm kidding. It's fun, but she does. She played like Ventress, and then she'd be like, lightsaber fighting with Obi-Wan. So anyways, Clone Wars Conversations. People ask, will I bring old Clone Wars Conversations back? I would love to. Here's the issue. I don't live in Los Angeles anymore, and most of my castmates don't either. And so it's very hard to get us all together in one space. So I would love to shoot it here. I would either shoot it down in the control room there, or over here where there's over right there, where there's some chairs and stuff. I would shoot it there and sit down and have a conversation about Clone Wars. If you don't know about it, hey, check out, there's I think 14 episodes I did, a season where I used to have a set, and it used to be easier to get all of us into one place at the same time, but I never interviewed Ashley. I never interviewed Dee. Sadly, I never got to interview Tom Kane, whom I would love to do as well, the voice of Yoda. And TC Carson, I never got to interview TC, who's Mace Windu. And there's some other characters and some other folks that I didn't get to interview that I would have loved to. So I would love to do another season. The only thing is I probably would have to do it from, them in their space and me in my space. If I did that, would y'all be okay with that? I'm sure you're going to say yes. So, okay, I'll see what I can do. Okay, now Ashley and I, we spend a lot of time together at cons and things. Maybe I could do an interview with her there. The problem is I'd have to bring all my gear and all of that and stuff. But it would be great to finish Clone Wars Conversations and really do that the way I wanted to, where I got to interview everybody. But that show was a lot of fun. And the one thing a lot of you really like, and some of you may be new to the channel, welcome, thank you, hi, how are you? Is at the end of each episode, I would do this little part where I would have us read something from something else in culture, whether it be, Shakespeare or a scene from another movie, in our characters' voices, in our characters. And I think probably the most popular one is myself and Sam Witwer reading from The Princess Bride. And it was a lot of fun, and that people have animated that even. I've seen that some people have animated it, which, how cool is that? So I loved doing those. Another very popular one was Anna Graves and I reading from Romeo and Juliet, which becomes the Duchess Satine and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that was very cool and exciting. So Clone Wars Conversations, I would love it. Now let me tell you, actually, it's interesting because my dear friend Vanessa Marshall has a show, Rebels Recap, which is great. Her and Taylor and Tia, they have Rebels Recap, and where they go back and they watch the episodes. It's funny because originally, Clone Wars Conversations was going to be called Clone Wars Commentary. And it was going to be the same type of thing. It was going to be a recap of every episode, me watching the episodes with my castmates. But we were not able to do that at the time. So I'm really glad that Rebels is able to do that with their show now. Maybe someday they'll let me do a Clone Wars commentary. I would love to do that, where even if it was just me and somebody patched in, then we could be patched in and watch some of the episodes. But I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm stealing the idea from Rebels Recap. I'm trying to say I did have that idea before. If I do it again, just know it's not. I'm not trying to copy anybody, but I love that they're doing it. And I hope you check out Rebels Recap, because that is really cool. It's a cool way of them getting to kind of recap the things. And Clone Wars Conversations kind of did that as well. And I really appreciate all of you that watched it. And if you haven't seen it, check it out right here on my YouTube channel. I shot it all pretty much on my own. Sometimes I'd have some of my friends, Matt and Andrew, come in the studio and help, because I had a space there that had like a control booth, and all of that. And I'd set up 3 cameras and we would just go and interview everybody and talk. And then I would take all that stuff and cut it back. And now it would be so much easier. I've got this Rodecaster video switcher and I could I could have multiple cameras and switch around. I'd have 3 or 4 or 5 cameras and do it that way if I had the ability to have them in studio. But I am thinking also of bringing some of my friends into the studio. It won't be Clone Wars Conversations, but it will be just JAT having conversations with different friends of mine that are in different aspects of the entertainment industry and some that aren't. Some that are just regular folks that do regular jobs and interesting things that are interesting people. I'm going to start doing some interviews with folks there as well here on the channel. So I hope you would find that interesting. And we're going to do that real soon as well. But there's just a lot going on, and I hope that you would subscribe to the channel. And I thank you for hanging out with me today. Are you drinking your water? Did you see the video? See, I did a video. Oh man, that's good water. You really, trust me, water is good. I did a whole video on that. And going to be doing some more on other things as well about health and well-being and lifestyle and all that. Why? Because it's important. It is important to be healthy and think healthy and live healthy and do all those healthy things wherever you can. Many of us struggle with things like that. I know a lot of folks struggle with weight gain and trying to lose weight and such. Some people have the opposite. I have the opposite problem. Sometimes I have trouble actually gaining weight ever since I got sick from toxic mold. Now, I know some people are like, oh, geez, that sounds like a tough problem to have, James. But it can be a little dangerous sometimes as well because you get too skinny. There's times where I will dip down way too skinny and then, I try to kind of put weight back on. So all of us have our own struggles. People have different struggles with their health and such. And I have found prayer, first and foremost, give it to God. And I pray about it. And wisdom and knowledge and understanding of everything. And that's something I certainly get from the Bible. But understanding what you believe, why you believe it, but also about your health and such too. Knowing as much as you can about these things, very important. I know I've taken a little turn. We've been talking about Star Wars and Clone Wars Conversations. Now I'm talking about health on the back half. I got a few minutes left. I thought, well, what else could I talk about here? I want to talk to you about the importance of, just taking care of yourself. Just knowing that, look, every single day you have an opportunity to start over. And that's the beautiful thing. And God lets us do that as well. That's the beautiful thing, He loves us enough to not hold those things over us. And we don't do that here at the JAT Channel either, the JAT Fellowship. So every day you've got a new day, a new opportunity to try again, okay? And I believe in you and that you can do that, okay? So whether it's a health issue, a diet or one of those things, or if it's a self, not loving yourself enough, or, and look, there's a balance too. We have to love your neighbor as yourself. So love everybody else the way you would love yourself, but love yourself as much too. See, a lot of people have that problem. It's like, oh, I love other people, but I don't love myself. And I just want you to know there's people that believe in you, that love you and care for you. And so you give them that same back just as much as you love them. Love yourself in that as well. What does that mean? That doesn't mean, oh, I love myself, I'm so wonderful, I'm only going to take care of myself. No, it means care enough about yourself to not attack yourself, to not be too hard on yourself. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this, I'm not that. I don't want to use negative words because then I'll get flagged in the video. That's what happens, I found. But don't say those negative words about yourself or anybody else. Look, wake up every day going, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to really try. And I'm going to pray for others and hope for the best for them, but I'm also going to hope for the best for myself. And just know that you can do that every single day, okay? And as far as like diet and exercise and water and all of that, little bits at a time, start working it into your day. Deep breathing. I believe, giving it up to God. If you don't know God, seeking him out every single day, going, okay, I'm going to try a little bit closer. Jesus, James believes in you and he says you're cool. I'm going to step out a little bit more in faith today. There's people praying for you each day. Know that, believe that, take that in and believe that you can make a difference each day. And if you mess up today, that's okay. You got tomorrow, you can start over again, okay? All right. God bless you. I believe in you. You can do this life. It's a crazy life, but we got this, okay? Let's help each other. Let's be kind to each other today. Let's not post anything negative today. Let's post some positives for each other. Let's believe in each other. Let's pray for each other. And let's hope for the best for this world and for everyone around us, even those ones that we have a hard time with, okay? I know you can do it. I believe in you. And I'm thankful that you're here. Please subscribe to the channel if you can, okay? Appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.